Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, the great American solar eclipse occurred today all around the world. Many were fascinated by the moon's shadow. While the USVI was not within the so-called path of totality, here in the territory, UVI'S ETELMAN Observatory and UVI'S physics program students and faculty, they hosted an eclipse viewing event at UVI'S Sports and Fitness Center on St. Thomas and also at the RT Park on St. Croix. UVI had been designated as the only official NASA viewing location for the eclipse in the Caribbean. Here's more.
It's magnificent. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Telescopes were set up in the UVI soccer field, and UVI physics and astronomy faculty and students were on hand with proper eye protection to make viewing the eclipse safe and exciting experience for all.
Today, August 21st, Monday, there's been an eclipse traveling across North America. It started in Oregon at about 11 o'clock this morning and then traveled all the way across the country through Idaho and Illinois and Tennessee, and then it finished up in South Carolina, and then it headed out to sea. And just about, let's see, it is 3:50 right now. Just about 10 minutes ago, at 3:36, we reached the point of maximum eclipse here in St. Thomas, and we've got a really fantastic turnout here. Many hundreds of people have come out. We've had a really wonderful community sharing eclipse classes and sharing all of our telescopes, and it's just been I can't thank enough all the folks that turned out today to make this event as special as it was for us.
It was a huge event because the last time a solar eclipse passed so close to the USVI was 19 years ago.
I've lived here a long time, and I slightly remember an eclipse in '79, but I can't remember whether it was total or not. But it seemed like it might have been. And I've seen several lunar eclipses here. They are magnificent. Anytime they're talking about a lunar eclipse, see it. You don't have to have anything special. Just go out there and get you some wine and some friends and enjoy it.
It's really a marvel of creation. It helps you to appreciate Jehovah's creation when you can see the spectacular views and how the solar system works.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it's about to get dark.
The telescopes were equipped with special protective filters to allow safe viewing of the sun. They also demonstrated the use of pinhole cameras and telescope projection techniques for viewing the eclipse indirectly.
And honestly, it is very exciting, and I'm so happy to be a part of something like this.
Better than I expected. There are a lot of people here. I did an interview with Dr. Morris, who's the director of the ETELMAN Observatory, earlier this week to help promote this event, and it seems like it was very well promoted because so many people came out. It seems like it's doing very well. They had to start giving out the protective eyewear to share with individuals. So it seems to be a very, very great event at the moment. Yeah.
UVI also sent members of the ETELMAN Observatory Solar Physics Research Team and UVI physics students to the path of totality in Charleston, South Carolina. These researchers were live streaming video of the moment of total eclipse from Charleston about 2:47 p.m. Visitors to UVI were able to watch the total eclipse by video on a large screen set up in the UVI Sports and Fitness Center.
For you folks who would like to hear more about what today was all about, what our scientists that are up in the path of totality at South Carolina have been learning, and what scientists from all across the country have learned from today's data that have been collected, please come and visit us at UVI'S ETELMAN Observatory. So we'll be having regular monthly open observatory nights where we'll tell you a little bit about the research that we do at UVI in our physics group. UVI, some of you may know, has a new physics degree program, a Bachelor of Science in Physics. Here at UVI, you stay 4 years at UVI and get your Bachelor of Science in Physics, and you have an opportunity to do research at ETELMAN Observatory. You have an opportunity to do research at some of our partner institutions like NASA Goddard Space Flight Center and other universities around the country, and we'll tell you a little bit more about why physics and astronomy are so exciting to us, and we think exciting to the community around us.
Cameraman on the scene right there, Enzo Colon, who constructed and used his own welding mask number 13 filter and place it over the camera lens to get those awesome shots, awesome video right here on St. Thomas, right at the UVI field there. And our intern, Amari Graham, who assisted. Good job, guys. Well, the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see today's solar eclipse was an exciting event to everyone, especially members of the St. Croix Rocket Club. The members of the club and others, they went out to the Point Udall, the easternmost point of the United States on St. Croix, to view this stellar celestial event with special eclipse sunglasses or with do-it-yourself box lenses. Everybody got a view. That began at approximately 2:17 this afternoon, with approximately 82% totality that happened around 3:37. Here's more.
Something that we should all be looking forward to. Any STEM student is extremely ecstatic to see such a amazing phenomenon occur, especially right in our hometown. It's amazing. We're so happy.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I actually waited like a month for this. It's like, if you have the chance to see this, go and see it, because like she said, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Well, these glasses are actually one of the only few glasses that are on the market that you can use to view the solar eclipse. They have to be certified by NASA and meet special requirements in order for you to use them.
It's really amazing. It's awesome. And as the advisor for the rocketry program on St. Croix, I'm ecstatic that these young people are going to see something that will not happen again for more than a generation.
Now, the rare astronomical event grabbed everyone's attention, grabbed the nation's attention today as it crossed the U.S. from west to east, from Oregon to South Carolina. Millions of Americans gathered to watch it happen, including Omar Jimenez, who was outside Charleston, South Carolina. Here's more.
The Great American Eclipse was the celestial event of the decade.
What are we looking at?
This eclipse was a uniquely American event.
It was the most spectacular 2 minutes of our lives, I think.
That was amazing. She sobbed for like
I
5
cried for 10
minutes.
minutes.
A partial eclipse viewable from anywhere in the continental U.S.
It was really cool. I mean, like, the whole sun was covered by the moon, and then it went really dark.
But millions traveled to see the full show.
We don't have a lot of chances to see things like this. This is a once in a lifetime.
Why I come from France to see only 1 minute the circle.
I just thought it was a really cool experience to experience with my friends and family here, and then something that I'll never see again.
Anxious to witness a unique astronomical event.
The thing I love about an eclipse, it is the most beautiful sight you will ever see. It's breathtakingly beautiful. Literally will take your breath away with its beauty.
In Charleston, I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
Now, turn our attention back here at home. The Henry Rolson Airport arrivals gate was filled with family, friends, and loved ones carrying signs and balloons welcoming Henry's return. Henry was seriously injured, and his best friend Zion James was killed in an automobile accident on August 1st. It made national headlines. Here's more.
Grateful for everybody that came out to support him. We're open for our community and friends and family who are abroad, who are texting, who are sending them messages of prayers, love and support. We're grateful. Please continue to keep us in your prayers.
That was an emotional scene there with YIRAKMEAL, Rocco Henry, who returned to St. Croix. Now, in other news, looking at the courts, 38-year-old Jamal Haynes has agreed to plead guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to possess cocaine with intent to distribute in each of the 2 cases he's charged with. A change of plea hearing has not yet been set. In one of the cases, Haynes is facing federal drug charges along with 4 others, in which the trial is set for September 25th. And the other case, he is facing charges along with 2 others that's set for October 2nd. And in that case, it charges that between June 1st and June 22nd, Haynes conspired with his co-defendants and Nilda Morton of St. Thomas to transport about 5 kilograms of cocaine on 2 occasions. Well, sentencing has been postponed a 3rd time for a former VI government security officer who pleaded guilty to trying to smuggle cocaine and cash through Sirili King Airport. 40-year-old Neil Chesterfield worked in the governor's office as a security officer for dignitaries. Chesterfield is being held pending sentencing in Puerto Rico. He had been scheduled to appear in court for sentencing in April, June, and August, but that hearing has been postponed until October 10th. Senator Jeanette Millen-Young said it is unacceptable that the MAP administration would forcibly oust Public Works Commissioner Gustav James last month and a month later nominate him to an important board such as the VI Water and Power Authority. She said it was painfully obvious that the governor believed that Mr. James was not the best person to lead Public Works. In his capacity as commissioner, James was an ex officio member of the WAPA board, a role he made well known when he called for the ouster of past executive director Hugo Hodge Jr. James publicly stated that Hodge lacked good judgment and competency. James and Senator Millen-Young sharply differed on the Senate floor regarding the downtown revitalization project on St. Thomas. She had demanded several updates from him dating back to November 2016. At first, the governor defended James's handling of the downtown revitalization project, but after Millen-Young's consistent demands for accountability, she said our worst fears became known that the contractor was simply not able to fulfill his work. The senator said this led to a very disturbing legislative hearing in which then Commissioner James defended his previous stance on the downtown revitalization project under questioning from Millen-Young in a Senate hearing on July 10, 2017. Then, within hours of the hearing ending, James called for the termination of the project's contract with Tip Top Construction. Millen-Young said James's departure from Public Works was understood as a logical move to regain confidence in the infrastructural development of the territory. The senator said there are scores of well-qualified Crucians who have no dark clouds over their heads for this position. To the Senate, turning our attention there, due to a main water line break, the legislative capitol was closed today as of 4 p.m. to perform emergency repairs. The legislature will resume normal business hours on Tuesday, August 22nd at 8 a.m. The St. Croix, St. John, and Post audit offices remained open. Now on Tuesday, the Finance Committee will be meeting starting at 9 a.m. at the Otley Legislative Hall on St. Thomas to hear the fiscal year 2018 budget requests of the Finance Department, as well as the VI Public Services Commission and Office of Management and Budget. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers, the Dow up 29, NASDAQ down, S&P 500 up. Coming up, we have much more straight ahead. Tune in. We'll be right back. Taking a look at all the eclipse shots from around the world. Time for some back to school. Now on Saturday, over 1,000 people went out to the Barron Spot Village Mall for the Tools for School giveaway. People began lining up several hours before the kickoff promotion, which included a giveaway of 300 school backpacks, raffles, face painting, free books, costumed cartoon characters, and a special performance by KEVON Jr. Also, 25 backpacks were donated to the Department of Human Services to give to foster children. Here's more.
We would like to thank VIA and all the sponsors who gave to the school backpack. We thank you. You gave to our foster children a very special gift so that they can put their education first. The team here, Team Kinship, will say thank you again. VIA, thank you.
Well, the chairman of the Committee on Education, Youth and Recreation, Gene Ford, he hosted a youth group of about 31 students representing the St. Mary and George Coptic Orthodox Church in Massachusetts from Monday, August 21st, and will be until Friday, August 25th. The group will be doing a series of volunteer work on island while gaining insight on the history of the territory. The senator voiced, "I am excited that these youths have decided to come down and partake in our culture, all the while giving back to the community." The students received a tour of the legislative chambers, which comprises of extensive murals that tells the history of the VI. They also had the opportunity to conduct a mock committee meeting. The office and the group will be traveling to St. John on Wednesday through Friday to paint classrooms at the Julius E. Sprouse School, where they will have a chance to interact with local youth and gain more insight of what life is like as a Virgin Islander. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line has notified the Virgin Islands Port Authority that mechanical issues with its MS Allure of the Seas cruise ship has forced itinerary changes that resulted in 5 canceled calls to St. Thomas. Viper's Executive Director David Mapp said the Allure was scheduled to berth at the Austin Bay Monsanto Terminal in Crown Bay on the following dates: September 28th, October 18th, November 15th, December 13th, January 12th. Now, Viper received notice from Federico Gonzalez Denton, who's the Associate Vice President of Government Relations, that these 5 calls to St. Thomas have been canceled. Mr. Gonzalez Denton said the Allure ship has an issue with its propulsion system, which makes it very difficult for the ship to travel to certain distances due to speed restrictions. RCCL was forced to cancel these 5 calls to St. Thomas and shifted the ship to San Juan, Puerto Rico, Mapp said. Mr. Gonzalez Denton also stated that the ship is scheduled to head to dry dock for repairs. Mapp added that he is cognizant that these cancellations will have an adverse effect on the U.S. Virgin Islands tourism industry. He's arranging a meeting with the cruise line to discuss possible calls to St. Thomas by other RCCL vessels that may be in the region during the period in question. He's hopeful these additional visits will be added in the future to offset these missed calls. At 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, August 18th, a unit from the Echo Fire Company station responded to a residential fire in Estate Hall. They say on the scene, fire personnel observed some flames coming from the side of the residence. Upon making entry into the home, they further observed the fire spreading from the laundry room to the bathroom to the hallway. After attacking the fire, firefighters were able to contain it to the laundry room and bathroom and fully extinguish that fire within 40 minutes. Before returning to their station at 9:45 p.m., fire station personnel conducted some salvage and overhaul operations as well as a safety inspection. The fire remains under investigation by the Arson Investigation and Prevention Unit. In other news, time for our summer camp news. We have been sharing so much news about the eclipse, but if you are fascinated by space and would like a little more insight, as we shared earlier, then you must visit the ETELMAN Observatory, which serves as a center for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, education, excellence, a venue for public outreach activities, and a fundamental astrophysics research station. It's located atop Estate Bond Resolution, elevation 1,380 feet on St. Thomas. ETELMAN is the easternmost observatory in the Americas and the only robotically controlled research-grade telescope within 3,000 miles of St. Thomas. The building and a first instrument were donated by Harry ETELMAN in 1962 to the then College of the Virgin Islands. Once promoted to the university, UVI refurbished the building and upgraded the telescope to its current configuration in 2004. The instrument is since then used for scientific researches, public outreach, and student projects. Now, the ETELMAN Observatory, they hold public observing nights at 7 and 9. 7 start time is designed for younger guests under 10 years of age, and the 8 and 9 shows are more appropriate for older children and adult guests. They usually run a shuttle from the Sibley School parking lot near Sibs and the traffic circle. UVI Physics hosted an international astrophysics conference a few months ago. Now, these events are free of charge to the St. Thomas community. You must reserve. Well, some of the chili was sold out from early. The 33rd annual Texas Society Chili Cookoff that took place this Sunday at the John Brewers Beach on St. Thomas. It started out nice and sunny, but rain came down and it didn't dampen the spirits or the taste of that chili as attendees paid their $1 to sample the entries at the booths. Proceeds from the chili cook-off are set to benefit few agencies, including the Queen Louise Home, the Family Resource Center, as well as the St. Thomas Sail and Power Squadron, and that's the showers coming down there. Many tried their luck to win that red classic convertible this time around from Mazda. The chili was judged in many categories, including, we'll tell you, once we went to the winners there. Large Show, these are the winners. Large Show, team of 10 or more. First went to Heidi's Honeymoon Beach Grill, second to Betsy's Bar, third to Margaritaville. Small Show, 9 or less. First place went to Senator Jean Ford, second place Doghouse Pub. Beef Chili category, first place Marlene Dykes. She will now represent the USVI at the International Chili Championship in Terlingua, Texas in November. Second place went to Georgianne Nicholas, third place Pat Anderson. In the veggie category, first place was Donald Pomerantz, second place Julius Jackson, third place Marlene Dykes. The winner of the chili Cookoff raffle was Vivian St. Just, who is the director of the Family Resource Center. The car was donated by Jay Matthews, the owner of Mazda of St. Thomas. We want to say congratulations to all the winners. Stick around. News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Well, taking a look here across the Caribbean, we've got a couple of systems moving away. We have one that is moving through the Bahamas right now, and then we have the remnants of Harvey that is well to the west. What we have in place across the Virgin Islands is just some pretty quiet weather. You can see not really showing much. In fact, where you're seeing the yellow here, this is our water vapor imagery. Anywhere you see yellow, that's where you have drier conditions. And then where you're seeing the brighter whites, that's where we have the moisture in place. So you notice some drier areas moving through. Only a spotty shower that's going to be around for tonight or tomorrow. So tonight, a shower or two in spots, a temperature of 79 degrees. Tomorrow in St. John's, partly sunny skies, 89 degrees. And in St. Thomas, partly sunny. Can't rule out perhaps just a spotty shower. And it is going to be a warm day. In St. Croix, maybe a shower or two around St. Croix. Otherwise, we have partly sunny skies and 91 degrees. The waves on the Atlantic side are 4 to 6 feet with an easterly wind of 10 to 15 knots. And on the Caribbean side, the waves are 3 to 5 feet with an easterly wind of 15 to 20 knots. Now, as we take a look here at the forecast, we have a partly sunny sky for your Tuesday, maybe only a spotty shower in places on Wednesday, and we have partly sunny skies, a high temperature of 89 degrees. On Thursday, we have just plenty of dry air. As I mentioned, you saw that yellow. That starts to move in, and we just have a mostly sunny sky, high temperature of 89, mostly sunny on Friday, quiet, 89 degrees. On Saturday, perhaps just a morning shower around with a high of 89. Sandy?
Thanks for that. Looking at our weather picture there by Jada Ross of Great Minds Summer Learning Academy. Beautiful colors there. We see she included some pink and purple clouds with some sunshine. Jada, thank you for your colorful entry there. Send us your news to weather picture to the address on the screen and tune in to see it. Stick around. News to Sports is coming up next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. Let's go right to the ring with Saturday night's pro boxing debut of St. Thomas native and 2016 Olympian Clayton Laurent Jr. The crowd at the Antilles MCM Center was ready for action after witnessing 3 previous fights. Keithlin Action King of Barbados registered a TKO at the 2:38 mark in the first round versus Ruthless Bob Mitchell. Julian Iron Fist Brown of the BVI registered a TKO in the first round over Topeka, Kansas's Lucas the President Kennedy. And St. Croix Felix Pay the Fee Santana Jr. knocked out Devin D. Iron Soldier, also of Topeka, Kansas, 38 seconds into round 2. Laurent's opponent, Wayman the Slim Reaper Carter from Topeka, Kansas, came in unafraid with a 1-1 professional record. After the introductions in the first round, Laurent was the aggressor, using his superior size and weight, forcing Carter into the ropes on numerous occasions before putting Carter down on a standing 8 count. In round 2, sensing he had Carter on the ropes, Laurent aggressively attacked, using punishing body blows to drive Carter into the mat for a standing 8 count at 129 in the second round. Then, using a series of body blows for which Carter had no defense, Laurent delivered a knockout when World Boxing Association referee Luis Padron of Puerto Rico counted Carter out near the center ring. By winning its professional boxing debut, the 27-year-old Laurent, who went 40-15 as an amateur, is no doubt looking forward to a bright future. In hoops, in the Paradise Jam Summer Tour game on Sunday night, the James Madison Dukes won their second straight contest, holding off Carleton Badgers 78-75. That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for the update, Gary. That is all for this edition of News 2. We'd like to thank you for all the latest. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Have a wonderful evening.